So welcome back to the channel, or should I say bonjour. Welcome to the south of France. I'm currently in the little town called Castellane on the starting point of Gorges de Veron. And yeah, I've been here once, many years ago. And this area always stayed with me like, wow, this is stunning. And I really wanted to go back here to do some photography at one day. And so here I am. Gonna do some photography in France. And yesterday we drove over here. We had some beautiful fog with lights coming through it. It was absolutely amazing. But of the past night, it has been pouring down like madness. It's amazing. And some people already warned me if I went into the canyon that there might be some flash floods coming from water coming from the mountains. But all that is for a later point. Right now I'm just going for the most obvious shot that I could find at this stage. So let me try to show you here on the other side. You see, down here in this valley is the city of Castellane, the town. And on top there is a beautiful church on top of that big rock. And so it kind of looks like this. If you look at it, so we have a couple of houses down here, then these layers of mountains, and in the middle this beautiful rock with the church on it. But the main problem I have with this composition is that just a couple of minutes ago there was some beautiful light on the church, just lights from real lights lighting up the church. But when I found this spot, the lights turned off, so I was just minutes too late to get the right shot. So I might come back here to get this shot later, but I just love the dramatic sky above it at the moment. You know, it's just really nice, and it's a bit difficult to compose this nicely, but I think I got quite a nice composition here with a 16:9. And I bracketed these shots to make sure that I can lift up these shadows in the valley down here and not overexpose the drama in the sky up there. So yeah, this is the first shot from the south of France. Who knows, hopefully a lot more to follow. So today is the first day of Easter. It's a Sunday, and I'm probably going to do some Easter egg searching with my kids later on this morning. But this might be one of the only days with some normal conditions. You know, the weather predictions aren't that good. In fact, they are promising terrible conditions like last night. And there are a lot of warnings for weather, for flash floods, for all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're here anyway, so we're gonna make the best of it. So hopefully we can find something that is worth photographing in this canyon. And the funny thing is, if you search online, there aren't much great landscape photos from this area. So I'm just gonna see if I can find something to make this trip worth it. So I just stopped next to the road here. You can see that the water here in the river is really fast flowing. It's a pretty rough river at the moment, and it's probably due to all this rainfall from the past days in this area. But why I stopped here is, if you look in the back there, some mist or fog is starting to form, and you can also see it up here. I just took a shot of that tree up there. I hope you can see it. With that foggy backdrop, it just looks really nice. But I was especially interested in this area here with that floating river towards that foggy area in the back. It just looks really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on this road. Hopefully a little bit more fog will appear. And if I'm not mistaken, the road is going up in a couple of minutes. And we might have a real nice point where we have all these layers of fog going over. You can see the fog now being blown over here on the other side. You can see it. It looks fantastic, you know. The conditions are here, even though that the weather is not that good and there's no light here in the bottom of the canyon. But at least we can take some nice images. So let's find some shots and hopefully they will work out. So just look at this view over here. It is just absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous. It's incredibly difficult to photograph. You know, how do you put something like this in one image? It's almost impossible. And the fog just keeps changing the scene every now and then, but there's not one specific tree that's catching my attention. And the sun is just behind that mountain in the back there, and it's causing the fog behind it to be lit up, but it creates this incredibly hard overexposed piece of fog there. So I definitely don't really like that, but I have to work with what I got here, and I can't walk away here without taking any images. Also in the background more fog is rolling in. You know, people call me the fog man. No, it doesn't matter, and this is just true, I guess. It doesn't matter where I go in the world. Everywhere I go, fog, mist, atmosphere, it just keeps following me around. I don't know what it is, but it's absolutely fantastic. So let me just turn you a bit to this view here. I just took a couple of shots with the trees down here when the fog was more down in this area, when the fog was more up in that area. But it's just all great, and I'm tempted to drive in that direction. That's the direction I was driving to, but I think driving back the same road with that backlit fog, it might just give some crazy opportunities. Absolutely fantastic, but once again difficult to photograph. You know, I have to bracket it, I have to shoot high-res images, I have to underexpose images. But if I underexpose too much, everything down here is in the shade. That's going to be a problem. So in fact I have to set up the tripod for every shot and take multiple exposures, but it's so difficult because of the changing scene here, because the fog is changing. It's all reactive, you know, you see something, you point, shoot, seconds later the image is gone because the fog has changed. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do here, but I see a nice shot coming up there. There's a nice tree on the edge of that cliff in the back, and there is some fog concentrating behind it, and that makes for that tree to pop out. So I'm going to wait here for a minute and then I'm going to take that shot. But yeah, these are the shots here from, yeah, I don't even know what this place is called. I just randomly stopped somewhere next to the road and thought, this might be nice, this might be nice. Also this peak here, this rocky peak, is now being lit up. So it looks nice. So every now and then the scene changes, something nice appears, some beautiful light rays appearing now through the gap in the clouds there. Oh, what more do you want? What more do you want? A little bit more knowledge of this area would have been nice. That's what I would have wanted, but I'm here for a week, so I probably got some time left, but I'm gonna take a shot here now because I see a really, really nice one appearing. So quickly gonna take the camera and this is gonna be it. So I just walked a little bit further down the trail and just look at the view that I'm facing right now. You see down here there are some more patches of fog appearing, and you've got this winding road going through this fog with all those treetops coming through. It actually looks quite nice, especially when you leave off the sky, so the frame will be a bit like this. And there was also another shot down here. If you look here, there's this vibrant green bush down here, and up there is this rocky slope. And just a couple of minutes ago that fog concentrated just around that section there, and that actually looked quite nice also. And I also took a really large one, a portrait orientated shot with the live G&D filter just over that mountain's edge down up there. And I still think that it's a bit overexposed with the live G&D filter, but it's just worth it to stand here for a minute and see how the fog will develop. Now I can start driving around, but usually it's better just to stand here and get in the atmosphere. And I was just also looking behind me. Look at the scene here. It's more like a rural landscape here with these farmhouses, with a little bit of fog and some valleys for agriculture, something like that. And it just looks really nice. And yeah, look at the view here. I'm just gonna turn you around, make sure I'm gonna hold the camera steady here. You know, look at this business here. It is absolutely fantastic. So I'll freeze the frame here for a second. Sometimes we are so focused on the far distance or at finding something that we just don't see what's right in front of our feet here. Just look at this rock formation at the bottom with these red flowers here, the river in the background, and especially a minute before this screen, that beautiful fog was floating down in that valley above the river. It would have been fantastic. So it's very difficult in a situation like this to keep an eye on everything. And sometimes we just miss something. And in this case, I noticed it while editing. And I just want to show you that everyone misses things sometimes. But it doesn't mean that I didn't get some great shots here. And I got some fantastic shots. So let's continue the video. But the biggest problem with the most fantastic places on earth is that they're often quite difficult to photograph. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some better shots here, some better angles. But there's definitely some rough material in here that might be in for something spectacular. So I just haven't found that shot yet. So let's see. So just look at this business. So the sun just got from behind a cloud and the fog just starts to rise everywhere. You know, this is what I always see. What happens is that the fog just increases when the light hits the colder parts of an area, and it's pretty cold down here in this canyon, but look at it, there's no way for me to photograph now in this direction because all the fog is lifting right in front of me against this viewing point. So yeah, I'm gonna do something different. So that's when I remembered that first shot there with that rural housing, this rural landscape scene. I don't know what it is, but it looks quite nice. So I'm going to take a couple of shots in the opposite direction from the sunrise. So it's this area here. You can see there's not much fog concentrated there, but it looks nice, as if we can do something there, especially with all those lights and shadows working the scene there in the back. So I'll just take what I can get on a day like this. It's the first day here, so it's also about exploring, about finding the right spots to photograph. So yeah, nice first day here in the south of France. So I have to say that spot just felt totally crazy. You know, such a wide variety of shots from a random park up just next to the road here. Just can't believe it. You know, it's quite difficult to photograph an area without any knowledge of it. And so it's all based on luck and maybe experiencing what looks nice or what could be nice. And then just go for it, man. Just go for it, and don't hesitate. Don't abort halfway, but just go and see what will develop in front of you. And I haven't been able to photograph or to film every shot that I just took, but it was absolute crazy up there. So especially those last 5 minutes just before I'm recording this clip, the light started hitting the scene in front of me, and it went all crazy, you know. It went all crazy with silhouette shots. I just noticed a cross on top of a mountain on the other side, and I kind of underexposed the shot with using the fog leading up to the cross. It was absolutely crazy, but you can see the fog is still around. But I think, you know, my experience just told me that I've got about the best shots from that spot, and I'm just thinking, what's more to find here? You know, the fog is still concentrating in that valley down there. So that's where I'm going. I'm gonna take my car, drive back towards the holiday home I'm staying in, and where my family is probably waiting for me for breakfast. But you know, I've got proof that this was worth it. You know, this was worth it. And I'll still hide those Easter eggs, no problem. But I couldn't leave this spot behind, so who knows what I find on my way back home. But this is already absolutely crazy. Okay, I have to show you this. I just got my car from the parking lot, which is down here. Drove back up to the main road, and then I noticed the sign of what the place is called that I was at. Just look at it here. Point Sublime. Well, there's no denying that this place indeed is absolutely sublime. What a spot. What an absolute crazy spot. You know, fantastic. Oh, no, sublime. So I hope you liked those images, and especially the start of this video at that Point Sublime. Wow, absolutely crazy conditions. You know, I couldn't even believe it. Just driving around here randomly, hoping to find something, and then coming across a spot like that. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, I hope you like this first few days in France. Actually, I think this is the third day that I'm recording this right now. Today we spent some time at the beach. For example, we drove all the way to SYSTEM between Nice and Monaco, and spent some time on the beach. Yeah, the kids were absolutely loving it. So yeah, in the next few days the weather is going to improve a little bit further. Hopefully some chance of fog tomorrow, but I don't know what I'm going to do at those points. So right now I'm just happy that I got enough material for at least one video during this trip, and who knows, I'm still here for 3 more days in France, and then we're leaving to a different location. So yeah, who knows, maybe I can find some more stuff. So if you liked this video, this trip, don't forget, please push that thumbs up button. You will massively help this channel, and there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you push that, you will get a notification when my next video is released, always on Thursdays and Sundays. So I just hope to see you on those. So see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.